Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Kevin, what's going on? Whew. Here we go, here we go. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Monday RTH regular trading hours. At Crazy JJ's House of ES. We will not be undersold. Etienne, ça va? What's going on, everyone? Another fun-filled week awaits. Weekend went quick, Dan. After you hit 30, the weekends just poof, they're gone. They're gone like the bid from a short seller when they see size. Poof, they just disappear. Well, we're going to open on a gap, folks. Do you have any advice to have T plus 2 holding course? Sorry, can you kind of rephrase the question? Um, El Medi? Be happy to help. I just don't think I understand. I don't want to. Do you need advice on how to take a course or about our course? Or are you actually talking about settlement? Because it's T plus 1 now. Remember they changed the rules? And it's holding. So let's get into it. My course. Yes, if you want to take my course, how about this? You send me a DM on X or in our Discord room, and we'll have a phone call. Hey, Ed, what's up? Right? And then I'll call you and we can discuss whatever you would like to know about the course. I'd be happy to help. My pleasure. Yeah, so just DM me either on X and just let me know that it's you because, people use different names, so I get confused. Hey, you guys, VS Squad 22. I'm just going to call you Bob. Hey, Bob, newbie question. How do you draw those horizontal lines? Looks like where multiple wicks have rejected price. Exactly. Bingo. You nailed it. Right? You got the terminology. Right? Do you see how they're rejecting right here? So when price rejects, it means that there is a group of people who are sitting there banging away at the buyers, filling every bid. Then, if they see enough buyers, they will raise price and they'll start selling at a higher level. See that? So it doesn't have to be a wick. It can be whatever else you guys, just the top of the candle. We don't care about a wick or a body or anything. We just care where it prints. Was there a transaction there? That's all that matters. Right? So if there's a transaction there, we know that there's a seller there, and we know that there's a seller there. That's why I drew that little red line. See how it's bouncing off that little red line? Well, because these sellers put out a cost basis right here. Look at this. Dun, dun, dun. So they'll sell it down there, stop selling, and then, right, just like magic, they'll start to raise the price. All right, and they're selling there, they stop selling here. They're selling there, they stop selling here. Back and forth and back and forth. And now we're making a market. It's like a little dance. Now, if a lot of people start competing, they'll sell underneath and start undercutting each other, like Walmart and Best Buy, right? Selling the same TV. We will not be undersold. Come back, come back. I'll give you a better price than Buddy over here. Get it? Because it's a market. The object of a market is to capture the buyers and turn your inventory into cash, right? So the candles just tell us where the sellers are parked and then where they stop selling. Where they stop selling is where they see buyers and then they raise price. That's pretty much it. So let me get into it tonight, in this morning. Geez, I don't even know it's day, night. Overnight inventory is long. Okay? So overnight inventory is long, which means that all of the trading is above yesterday's close. Okay? All of the trading is above yesterday's close. See, there's the close. All of the trading. Why is that important? Because what we'd like to see is a correction to overnight inventory. So if overnight inventory is long, we look for shorts. But what if overnight inventory is not showing any signs of correcting lower? Now, I know it's Monday morning, right? And I know people are a little sleepy. But I want you guys to think, right? Think before you trade, okay? If overnight inventory is long, right? Yet there is no correction lower. What does that mean? That means the folks who are selling the product here don't have to put price on sale. Why would you not have to put price on sale? Should I play the music from Jeopardy? Anyone? Come on, guys, in the Microefutures room, look lively here. Why do you not have to put something on price? That's it. Thank you, Christian. Because there are more buyers in the market. People are willing to pay higher. Thank you. Right? Well, there's always supply. It's just being sold higher. Right? So, if overnight inventory is long, now Dalton and Stadelmeyer say that there's a 60 to 70% chance that it'll correct lower. So you're looking for shorts. But what if there's nothing for sale? Right? There's nothing for sale under 72. There's nothing for sale under 65. Well, we need for there to be a sale for us to take a short. And we might stay up here and trade sideways above 72, above 65 for an hour or two before we get a liquidation. That's why you don't want to short early and you don't want to short the front side of a move. We're going to open on a gap, right? We're going to open outside the previous day's range. If we open outside the previous day's range, it means that there is a short position from the top of Friday's range to where the market opens. Okay? I will rephrase that. There is a short position from the top of Friday's range to wherever the market opens this morning. That is a short position because there's nobody willing to sell. When you go into that short position and try and fill that gap, we will find the bid, right? We are looking for the bid, right? Exactly. Be patient and let the order flow tell us where the market is moving. once the buying is exhausted. Exactly. Beautiful. Lovely. Dan, JJ asking about long-term players. Are they also looking to keep churning their inventory into cash? No, 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 no. That's a different breed of cat, Dan. Okay? So, long-term money management, they're not traders. You want to think of long-term people as collectors. Right? You know like how Jay Leno has all those cars but he's never sold one of them? That's the kind of person or group or institution that will buy 1 billion shares of Apple and they're going to hold it for 30 years because they think, right, what's Crab Apple trading at this morning? Right? Where is that kooky thing? Right? Crab Apple, 210. So they're thinking that Apple in 30 years from now is going to be worth 2 grand a share. Get it? Make sense? Right? They think that long after this CEO is gone, that in the year 2060, Apple will be making flying cars that are electric, that are made out of like soy, so you can fly your car from LA to San Francisco and then eat it, and there's zero emissions. Right? There you go. Right? Or some crazy thing like that. Right? They're not trading. If you look at the stock that they own, Dan, if you thought of that stock and if it's sitting in a vault, right, you'll see like a layer of dust sitting on top of that stock, right? They'll use it till they'll loan it out for people, to short and get money off of it, stock loans and things like that. But they're not churning that stock, right? That's us. We're traders, right? We're not white shoe guys. White shoe guys, they have those fancy clubs that they go to. Big houses, one wing for them, one for the help. That's not us. Okay? We're traders, right? Hey, Zazu, what's going on? Hopefully this is your third week of taking cash out of your account. Nicely done, Raj. Well done. I just saw your message. Way to get back in there. Yeah, we don't play polo, right? I don't have a polo pony, right? There you go. The guys who play polo, they're the ones who hold stock for 30 years. Where can you learn? Come to microefutures.com and we'll be happy to teach you. Now, my style of trading, it's funny. Everybody says, hey, you have a very interesting style of trading. And it's like, I don't really have a style. I just do what I was taught to do in the business. And I'm trying to teach you guys how to do the same, right? Like how to, conduct business properly. See, because institutionally, you don't have one guy trading fibs and we're all just moving order flow. We are trying to move the most amount of product at the highest prices that we possibly can. Right? That's all we're trying to do. Just threw in our website. How do you identify a complete sell in the candlestick chart? Why, I'm glad you asked. There's two easy ways. How much time we have? We have 15 minutes before that. Okay, look. So we had sell orders here, right? Here, let me just, if you're looking at my chart, see there was a seller here at 54.82, right? And they started to sell. They started to sell. And at the bottom of that candle, they saw buyers and they lifted the offer. And then they came back down and sold. So if you're going long and you're using this as a trade, what you want to do is you might take this trade a couple of times. You might go, you know what? I'll go long here and put my stop here. But if I put some sell orders out at 77, 78, nobody buys them, I'm going to get out. Then, oh, you know what? I can take the trade again, right? And this time I get a better entry, put my stop here and put my sell orders here. That's all you're doing, right? Now, here's the thing. Your stop is here because if the market takes that stop, then the business reason for your trade went bye-bye. So if the business reason for your trade is gone, there's no reason for you to be in the trade. The business reason for your trade is that nobody needs to sell under 54.73. Look at this. We're looking for 55.04 on the top on the open, right? As we are breaking out into the open, we have some buying in the pre-opening auction, as they call it, right? So the pre-open orders are coming in. Everyone's all excited because now they don't have to pay $200,000 for an iPhone, right? Yay, happy days are here again. So our original balance zone is 54.30 and a half to 44 and a half. Double it to 72 and a half, that's profit. And then you double it again. So 4 times profit is 55.28 and a half. Good stuff, Jaden. We do practice tough love on this in this room. The thing is, I just hate seeing people waste time and money. Right? Wasting time is one thing, but then when they waste money, that just gets me. I have a moral obligation to keep people from burning their money. I don't know what it is. It just, it's like, I guess I was raised so cheap. As a kid, we used to have contests to see whose dad was the cheapest. So when I hear of people like losing thousands of dollars getting stopped out on trades that don't make any sense, it just makes my blood boil. So keep it simple. Simple is so nice. Simple is very freeing, Otherwise, you're always... This business... I've been in this business 33 years, right? And I've seen some things that would make you, frankly, go throw up in your garbage can right now. And this business has a way of like sapping the life out of you if you let it, right? I want to keep you guys from doing that, and ladies, right? I want you guys to make some money and enjoy your life, right? So keep it simple. Admit you're wrong quick. If we get back above 55.84, I don't know what this whole thing, that this was another great margin robbery, right, Sadiq? This is just like COVID, man. They robbed everybody who didn't pay cash for their stock, or they robbed everybody who had loans out against their stock. Right? In 2021, there were $800 billion in margin loans. I don't think that number went down this year. So, hey, Tersey, how you doing? Yeah, we all learned the hard way, Sadiq. I don't think any of us ever learns the easy way. It's like those kids in school that everything comes easy for them and everyone hates them, right? You're sitting there, you're struggling with this stupid math, and this kid's like, "Oh, this is easy. I did it in my head," right? And you're like, trading's the same way, right? But trading is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, right, Josh? There's always like one kid. It's like, and they did their homework early. They did it like on a Friday after school. Here, you and I are doing it like, Sunday night or Monday morning before school. Oh, they're really milking this short position for everything it's worth, aren't they? Sawmill is a dangerous job. All right, so what are we going to do? What do you guys think? How long? What we should do every day, we should have a contest. How long is it going to be before overnight inventory corrects? Off the open, an hour, half an hour? That should be a thing. What's crabapple? 210, Tesla 258, Nvidia 115. How's that crazy MSTR 310? Opening on a gap up, 100% long inventory. And there's going to be single prints unless we open under 54.83 and a half. Well, we know inventory is 100% long. How do we know when it's too long? When people stop buying. Why should overnight inventory be corrected? It doesn't have to, Kumar. Dalton and Stadelmeyer is a stats guy, right? And he invented market profile. So he said that there's a 60 to 70% chance that inventory will correct in the opposite direction. If it doesn't, then the market's trying to tell us something. So it doesn't have to correct. But the normal course of business under normal quote unquote circumstances is to correct inventory. It's like taking care of old business before new business can continue. I have 55, 43 and 3/4 as my next level up. Is that the 200 or no? That's the 20 on a daily? Okay. Don't pre-short a market, okay? It's not like preheating an oven, right? This is the front end of the move. Let the large traders suck in as much retail and everyone as they can, right? right? They're like, yeah, don't worry, buddy. I'll sell it to you at 52.93. Don't worry, it's gonna go to 5,000. You're styling, right? Get in it, try it out, sit back, feel, see how it feels. Buy some more. Come on, buy some more, buy some more. And they're just feeding it out, feeding it out, feeding it out, right? God, I miss doing that. And then when you run out of buyers, right? Relax, don't worry. Yeah, 5,500. Don't worry about it. You buy it now, and you know what? Your kids will be able to retire, right? You can hear it. The market's just talking to these traders, right? As price goes up, it just keeps sucking them in, right? Just come on. You know, it's like following that pretty girl down the dark alley, and then the next morning you wake up in a bathtub full of ice, missing a kidney, right? Same deal, right? Don't worry about it. Come on, come on. Right? That's why you sell slowly. Somebody asked me yesterday, why don't you just sell it all at once? Because you don't want to scare away the buyers. Buyers are like those little deer. You know, when they come into the yard, if you make a big noise, they'll run away. Right? You don't want them to run away. You want to keep them, come on, come on. You lure them in with higher prices. It's a beautiful thing. Right? You just herd them gently, though, Christian. Right? Gently, gently. Right? Because a scared buyer does not open his wallet. Make them feel comfortable, right? That's why price goes sideways, right? That's why when you go into those fancy stores, they'll give you a coffee, right? They'll give you food. They give ladies champagne, right? So they open their wallets. Same thing here. It's just done electronically. See, the thing is, shorts start covering so they stop selling and raise price. So you got it all in the sentence there. You just rearrange the words here and there, right? So when you see shorts coming in and covering, as a wholesale long trader, you stop selling, right? See, now they had to put it on sale because we ran out of buyers, right? And now we're going to come right down into this cost basis right here. And if we can't get any buying, well, then we're going to have to sell it underneath 88. It's like feeding a goose, right? As Dalton says, and the old traders that trained me, they said, listen, when the ducks are quacking, feed them. And that's exactly what we're doing right now, right? The ducks are quacking. What are these Fed guys talking about now? Can't they take like extended vacations or something? Right? See, look how we came right into this area, right? We came right down here and we stopped selling. And all of a sudden they just lifted the offers, right? Right? We want to keep those buyers coming because the goal of the business is to sell as much as you can, as high as you can, for as long as you can. And then you shake them all out of it, hold them upside down, shake it out of their pockets, buy it cheaper, and then do it again. Right? This is the rotation of inventory. So you'll see these rotations. Right? You know, there'll be like a square box here. There's a rotation, and there's a rotation here. Right? Accumulation, distribution, right? The 1 minute chart shows you accumulation and distribution on a 1 minute time frame, half hour on a half hour time frame, you know, daily on a daily time frame. If somebody can't explain trading to you in a very, very quick way, in a simple way, don't believe them. See, we came right to the top. Remember there was a seller there? There was a seller there, right? Right? So as soon as it hits that, it lifts. Okay? So now we found the bid. We found the bid under 82. Okay? It's a little jumpy. Just relax. I want it to be simple. Now, if you understand what's going on, your mind is now free to execute. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go long. Are the sellers gone? Okay, if I'm going to go long here, I'm going to put my stop here because if the sellers sell under this level, there's no reason for me to be long, right? So if I'm long 88, my stop's under 86, right? And I'm looking to sell as the market goes up. Now, if the sellers come and start selling under 86, I'm out of the trade, right? Just as an example. Now, I like doing trades at the edge, right? When you hit an edge and you come back up. That's called the look below and fail. Right? I want to make it simple for you guys. Because it's not easy. And if we simplify the analysis, then you can keep your mind free for execution. See how we came into this area again? Stop selling. See that? It's the same thing again. So now we know we've tested that area twice, and we know that there are bids here. Right? So if we come to that area again and test it 3 times, right, you don't automatically buy it, right? But you're always, when a market opens, you test it to see whether it can hold a level, right? As you watch and get, experience, you'll be able to clip in and out of trades really quick. The faster the price action, the faster you're going to have to be on execution, okay? And if you're taking trades that are not A-plus setups, right? This is not A-plus. Every once in a while, you're going to get smacked, right? You're going to get some cuts, right? And that'll happen, okay? Now, the last time we had sellers, they sold here, right? Just above 86. So they kind of stopped selling here underneath 76, and the sellers are active just at 85 before 86. So that's what we're looking at. Now, if we take that level out, we're going to be looking at 72 and a half. Okay? I like to trade when the trade is more obvious, right? And it gives me time to set up for a trade, right? Right now, there's no setup for me, right? I'd love a look below and fail of 72 and a half, or because inventory is long, I'd like for the market to get under 72 and a half. And if I wanted to short 72, right, then I have a place to put my stop, right? Not, no go yet, no short yet, because we're still not offered under 72, right? So we look below 72 and bid again, right? So that way, right, a little long, and then you're selling at 79. I got it at 70. Where did I get long? 75 to 79. Jeez. See? That was the look below and fail I was waiting for. I didn't take it as well as I should have taken it, right? Because I was looking to short, so I had to adapt to go long, and I ended up buying 75 and then selling 79. Now let's see if it does that again. We know that there's sellers at 82. So if you are taking longs and you buy 76, 77, put them out at 80, right? There you go, right? If you buy 76, sell 80. Buy 70. Just take those 4 points, right? Because you know that at 82 that there's a seller. I was waiting for the candle to close on the confirmation to sell it, Chris. And then when it didn't, I was like, uh-oh, better get long. But I was slow. I should have gotten a better trade location on the long. I like to wait for the candle to close. Now, that does mean that sometimes I'm going to miss trades, right? I'll give you that. Sometimes you're going to miss trades, especially in a fast market. All right. Now to short, I'll wait for the next candle. See? My mistrust makes me wait, and then I don't get the best trade location. That's okay, right? So I missed that, right? I was thinking, oh, if it gets under 72, right? But my hand was nowhere near, like my mouse was nowhere near the DOM. So I'll wait till the next candle and see if we can get up to 71 and maybe hit it there if we get lucky, right? Short 70 and 3/4, 68 and a half stop, flat, right? I just scalped it on one, right? That's exactly what I was waiting for. The candle to close and then, Chris, for it to come up to the 71s, and I hit it as soon as it came up there, right? I just hit sell bid, and as soon as I did that, I put my stop above 72 and a half, and then went and threw a 68 bid in, and it hit my bid on the way down, right? Now, if we can take out that stop at A low, right, underneath 65, and you are short, you can stay short. The next structural place is going to be that 54 area where the point of control is down here, right? There we go. Right? You know where the sellers are. If they start to lift, cut your loss, right? Not a great place to initiate. But do you see how we came under 54.65 and lifted? This is the problem with shorting this market. Even with inventory long, right? Even with inventory long, thank you, right? They're front running VWAP, right? That is a tough short. That is a tough short to take, right? But if you were short under 72, right, and it came down and it came back up over 65, consider paying yourself. Not an easy market to trade, so don't feel bad if you get stopped out a few times, okay? It's going to happen. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. Traders that are better than me. Because, you know why? Because the order flow, when you go and you change the macro like this gentleman is doing, every 8 hours he's going and changing the macro, right? When that happens, you get very unpredictable order flow. So you are going to get stray orders. You are going to get stopped out. Those things will happen. So don't get too upset about it, is what I'm trying to say. Just now we're down to VWAP at 59. There it is. Right? This is normal. This is overnight inventory correcting lower. Right? Next stop 51 and a half. Nice, Chris. Nice. Beautiful. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful. Keep it up. What's next? Get it back into the balance zone? What do you think? If we break 51.5, we're looking for 44.5. You guys are really quiet this morning. Tickle the stops. Exactly, Eric. Ugh. Under 51. There, just tickle the stops. Hey, William, congratulations on qualifying for your first payout. Beautiful. I love seeing people get paid. Right? Every time a retail trader gets a payout, a market maker gets his wings. Right? I'm working my way out of hell one retail trader at a time. Right? Every time a retail trader makes money, that's one step for me getting out of hell. It's the karma credit plan. Should be a seller at VWAP. It feels good to get paid, right? Thanks, William. Now the VWAP shimmy. Exactly, Eric. You see, when I was on the other side of the business, we'd sell stock every week and take wires on Thursday and Friday, right? You know, we just sell stock and just get wires. So I want you guys to experience that. And this is even better because you had skill. Why are the ranges so big? Because nobody wants to play Christian, so the market makers have to spread their capital over a larger slice of toast. Think of capital as peanut butter. Think of the daily range as a piece of bread. Well, because they're not getting orders from big clients and people are risk off, the ranges are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The other reason is because of electronic execution. If you drop a big electronic order in the system, all the bids just disappear if you drop a big sell order. So the market just plunges and it just hits as many limit orders as it can. Ooh, 40. Did we hit 44.5 to the tick? Almost. One tick away. Sweet. The levels are working in RTH. Beautiful. Now, where is Chris? See, that's why you don't have to, you just set the levels and forget them. And if they're working, just let them be. Right? Looking for 65.5. And then if we clear 65.5, right, our friendly neighborhood seller is going to be there at 71. Yeah, the man does know how to create volatility. Yeah, trading NQ is, hey, you know what? We have some people in our room who do trade it, and they trade it well, but they have taken their licks. Right? NQ is a contact sport. You better wear your mouth guard if you're trading that thing. Yeah, they went and changed the macro again on the weekend, Aubrey. So we'll see how it shakes out today. Yeah, I call this a Forrest Gump market. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Fill the gap to the upside, team? Yeah, probably. Eh? With a one above 43, 44? We could. Oh, down. Oh, the immediate gap. That would be healthy, right? I prefer if a market comes and fills a gap. That's just me. It's my personal thing, right? I'm not saying short it, right? Because unless you see sellers, don't short a market, right? No matter how strong your feelings are on the gap, the market doesn't give a crap about your feelings, right? So if you don't see sellers, it ain't gonna fill the gap. But eventually it might. So don't get caught short early, right? I think it would be healthy if we went and filled the gap and then went sideways for a little while. But hey, nobody ever listens to me. So let's see what happens. All right. I don't like markets that have gaps in them. I think it's in poor taste. Yeah, that 44 buyer stepped in nicely and the offers moved away. Yeah, never traded oil, Ed. I've done oil and gas deals. I've drilled for oil. We went 17,000 feet in Bakersfield, hit a dry hole. Thank God it wasn't my money. What's up, Aubrey? Seller at VWAP. Cleaning out VWAP, looking for 65 half. See, the thing is, when you got a short position, right? So Teen was saying, fill the gap on the downside. But if you were long size, Teen, you would work that gap like a rented mule. And every time you got down there, you'd stop selling and make the shorts come up and cover, right? And you just play with them for as long as you can until you had to sell it cheaper, right? So if you're long off the 48s, 50s, right, as soon as you start coming up to 71, you're going to be looking for a seller, maybe even a little bit before, right? It is your moral obligation as a trader when you know other traders are trapped to take advantage of them, right? So that's why sometimes it takes a little longer to fill gaps, to correct inventory. Because when you have someone offside, hey, you milk it for everything it's worth. And it's clear that people offside from Friday. I mean, not really their fault. They were short the market, and then this guy went and changed the stuff on. Was it Saturday night he put out that news? That cell phones and all that stuff aren't subject to the tariffs. There's that 71. Let's see if they sell into it. Yep, a little bit. Not aggressive, though. I'd be careful if I was short. I hate shorting the front end of the move. We'll get hosed. Are you Canadian, Aubrey? It's very Bob and Doug McKenzie of you. Yeah, 71 sellers still there. See, doesn't it help to know where the seller is going to be? And we didn't need any fancy software or anything. We just drew a line. We knew the sellers were going to be there, right? There they were, right? Simple. ES has got a lot of movement in it right now. Now we're going to rotate down to what, 51? Yeah, they lowered the margins. You know, hopefully, Ed, things are starting to get back to normal. That'd be nice. You know? So we got a bit of a rotation going here, right? Between, sorry. You know, I don't like this epic pen. It's epically bad. I'd say somewhere like that is our rotation. Current rotation. Let's see if that 71 seller steps in again. If we clean them out, then we'll get above 72. And of course, if we get over 72, you're going to be looking up here at 74, 75 for a seller. 75, I'd say. Right? But that 71 seller is still there. They're still there. They're not finished distributing. And the nice thing about that liquidation from 54.94 down to 54.44 is we've got some shorts trapped under VWAP now, and they're helping hold a bid steady here. Oh yeah, definitely, Chris, definitely they are. But they all move down at the same. Like if you're selling 75 and I go 74, you're going to match me or go 73. If I go 73, you'll go 72. And then if there's a bunch of big buyers at 72, we'll all kind of go up to 73 and we'll all sell at 73. That's generally how it all works. Until somebody gets greedy and wants to grab what's left of the buyers. Then they'll hit some bids. Does that answer your question, Chris? So now we're just in a nice rotation. And once you have a nice rotation, you can just sell the top of it, buy the bottom. Sell the top, buy the bottom. That's up to you. I never feel good about shorting the front end of the move. Are you trying? Why do you want to short the front end of the move? You want to be first, like Ricky Bobby style, or do you want the highest price? Because those are the only two reasons why you want to short the front end of the move. You get what I'm saying? Right? It's okay, but I don't know why you want to take the additional risk. It's not a style, it's a business, right, Chris? So it's not the style of shorting the back end, right? The business favors shorting the back end. Because if I'm shorting the front end of the move and they're not done selling, then it's just going to rip on me. And in these markets, Chris, when the order book thins out, you might get filled on your cover much higher than you originally think. So it's like a risk management, money management thing. It's not really a style. Do you understand? Because this way makes more business sense than shorting the front end of the move. Because you're managing your risk. So over a sample size of 1,000 trades, you're going to lose less money. Anyway, we'll talk. We'll do the when we go on one-on-one. We'll talk about that. This can't be posted because it contains content. I don't know what that means. They did some changes to the Discord servers over the weekend, and I don't know anything about it, so I'll find out, Chris. They're doing some kind of a, I don't know, it's something above my pay grade. Sorry. So I'm sure it'll get sorted out. I don't know. We'll talk to Steve. We'll get it figured out. Just DM me if that happens. You know what? We're still at A period. Holy cow. That's a long first half hour. Oh, well. We're in rotation, Howard. Ah, yeah, it just deleted my post. Let somebody else take the risk on the. We're just going back and forth. The tighter the ranges get, excuse me. What are the lines on my chart? Those are the balance zones. The left chart? Yeah, so the blue is the balance. Okay, that's the cost basis. Then you sell 2 times profit, 4 times profit. Yeah, 100% Aubrey. Holy, look at that. Bit of a stop run. Let's see if we stop at around that 82 level. Chris, do you see why you don't want to short the front end of a move? And say you were pre-shorting 72? It's just too much risk. That's why I don't like it. Because in markets like this, that can happen really easily. All right, what's next? So have we, half an hour into the session, have we had a significant correction to overnight inventory? Now, a lot of people say that means we have to get down to the close of yesterday. We haven't. We haven't even been able to get into the previous day's range and even get close to filling that gap, right? Chewing through all the levels where the sellers were, these are areas to look for. Yeah, pretty much, right, Aubrey? Hey, if you can't take it down, take it up. Well, I'm looking for 5,500. Well, more specifically, 5504. See if we can get over that level there. It's one of my old levels. Where do you get your balance zones from? I got them from the beginning of the Globex session last night at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you go way back here, they're from here. So these highs, that low, low, right back to that high. Boing, 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 boing. Balance, 2 times profit, 2 times discount. If you go into the last couple of videos on the YouTube stream, it'll show them. I did the zones while I was on with you guys last night, so it's recorded. Makes it easy to follow. So for example, if you just stepped in, turned on your computer right now, right, you could use this as a balance zone, right? It's basically when you start trading, you look to see where that balance is, and then you double it to the upside and the downside so you know where your inventory is being bought or sold, right? Now, right, we take this and we're selling it up here. Let me just get rid of some of these lines because there's just too much stuff going on the chart. Clear that. Clear that. Is VWAP still in the same place? Where is VWAP now? Yeah, pretty much same place, right? It's at 60. Mark that. The less I have to look at on the chart, the better. Right? So we're going to come down into this area. The position is here from that back and forth, right? So how far do we come before we stop selling? There? Or do we come all the way back to VWAP if we ran out of buyers? Right? If we ran out of buyers, we know they're going to be at VWAP and they'll come down to catch them. Would have been a nice short of 72 again. I'll wait till the next candle. And if the next candle opens and can't get above 72.5, 73, so let's see if it can't get up, right? Come on up to 72. Now, if that seller doesn't show up there, right? If you're shorting the front end of the move, right? Go short it and put your bids in because as soon as the market drops, you'll want to cover because it's a fast market, right? Short 71 and 3/4, covering 69, half, 3/4, flat. Flat. Now we're dropping. If we lose the bids at 65, we'll come back into VWAP. That's Tampa. That's why I like shorting the back end of the move. The only thing, Jay, is your balance zones would be much larger since after the market open. I personally like the smaller ones, less Chris. Yeah, but Chris, but you also have to use balance zones that the market gives you, right? Sometimes the ranges are going to be big, so you'll have to use a larger range, right? Sometimes there's just no getting around it. I do prefer a smaller range because your risk is less, right? Nice trades. Nice trade. Well done, Josh. Now look to see where they sell into this, right? You got a green candle going up. Look at the top of it. Is that where the seller, that's it? If they see buyers, look for 72 and a half. And if you clear the 72 and a half, you look for the top of that candle there. Right at 74. See how the seller steps in? Seller steps in at 74, but it's not that aggressive. Right? As soon as they see buyers, they'll raise price. And if it clears that 74, you're looking at just under 79. Good stuff, Josh. That's great. Ooh. It's a wholesale back and forth business tonight, folks. To this morning, folks. See how we came right back into the cost basis, didn't take out VWAP, stopped selling, lifted again. There's still, remember, we have all of the inventory for the last couple of days, folks, is underneath price. Look, all of this inventory, all under 54.37. They've got product for sale. So even if they went sideways like this all day, it's good business selling that cheap crap up there, right? Right? That's good money for those traders who are long. They'll milk it for as long as they can. That's why you got to learn how to trade the rotations. And trading the rotations, that's that's the sweet spot because then you don't have to wait for these big breakout moves. You can just trade the rotations, be done, and then I don't know, go play golf or whatever it is you like to do. That's good, Howard. That's good. Let's see if we can take out that B low. Jay, did you watch market profile to see if it's one time framing up? No, I do not use it. I do not use market profile at all in my actual trade decisions. I use market profile to know where the stops are and where the inventory is and whether we have a poor high or a poor low. But I do not, I'll use it to, tell me where the inventory is, right? So if we are one time framing up on like after like 3 or 4 candles, right? I always use the 1 minute chart to initiate my trades. Like tonight, when the last night when it started, we had a poor low for quite a while. And welcome to the room, network. Common. Now let's see if we have enough buying to warrant raising prices over 60 where VWAP is. If we get over VWAP at 60, you're looking at, say we clear out the 61s, look for 65 and a half on the long side, okay? See, there's that seller at VWAP. Now, if we clear them out, say you're long 58, 59, put some 62, 63 offers out and sell into that strength. Front run 65, right? If you're long 58, 59, front run the 65s. Make sure you sell into the strength that is created by a lack of supply. Would you say this is more like, yeah, you're right. 100% team. Executing only gets easier if you plan the trade and then trade it. If you keep doing that over and over again, you'll find that you're right. The execution becomes easier or more fluid, right? Exactly, right? Every time you get into a trade that you didn't plan, you're like, you're kind of jumping around. You don't know what to do. Yeah, we might have a few of those, Aubrey. You don't know. How do you plan it? Well, you have an execution plan. So I like these trades where it fails to look below a level. So when it comes down there and it doesn't take out that level or it looks below and fails, you buy a couple of points above that level, put your stop at that level, and put your sell orders here. And as the market goes up, it takes you out of your position. That's how you plan the trade. Thanks, Chris. So we have a set process. Every trader in our room that has a trade setup, it's an execution plan based on when the market does a certain thing, you have a plan to react and take care of and take advantage of that business situation that's happening. So the market, right? You do the same thing. Why do you need to plan it? Well, that's up to you, my friend. We like to call it discipline. So you don't freeze like a deer in the headlights when things don't go right. You know what I mean? You need to plan it out at first, but it's not like you're like, drawing plans for a house every time you take a trade, Michael. Right? Once after a while you do it a couple of hundred times, it becomes like very fluid. You know what I mean? It's up to you. I tried trading without discipline, just taking trades gung ho style. Never, it didn't work. When I started planning out my trades, they started to work. People under stress follow their training. Spoken like a, yeah. People with no training freeze. It's exactly that, Michael. Exactly. Shazam. It's about building good business habits first. Right? Because it is a small business, right? You're running a small business. That's really all it is. Oh, good questions, folks. Really good questions and good commentary. I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, quick little plug for our little room. Come by, check out the 7-day free trial. I promise you that you will make it worth your while. There's a seller here at 68. You see them? And speaking about casual effort, I've actually never seen anybody just sit down and be successful as a retail trader, like just right off the bat. Except for that movie character. What was that movie with the guy? He took the pill that made him smarter. Limitless. That was the only time. Is the room? It's a Discord room, so it's text. Right? That's the only time I've ever seen anyone sit in front of a computer and then just automatically start banging out dough. Right? It's not very realistic. So no, we don't need drugs, Zizu. Don't go there. You try and get us in trouble, right? It was entertaining, right? I think they did a TV show too. Let's see if we can come on, clean out that 68 seller. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Watch, as soon as I get off stream, it'll run one way or another. Too many bids from trap shorts for now, team. They went and changed the macro again. Yeah, well, they wait 2 hours, right? You don't like the weather now? Wait 2 hours. Oh, is he going to speak on tariffs today? Okay, all bets are off. I'm not. You guys do what you want. Just protect your risk, right? You never know what that guy's going to say. He's like Dennis the Menace. He's the Dennis the Menace of order flow. I have no idea. I didn't even know he was speaking today. That's good because I'm going to go to the gym. Let me know when he's speaking so I'm not in front of the screen. I'm just seeing too many bids. Every time we come to this, every time we come down into that 54, 51 area, all of a sudden they just stop selling and walk it up, right? Same thing over and over and over again. So there's obviously bids there, and right? How many people? Okay, here's a question. Ask yourself this before you leave us. How many people do you think are trapped short under 5400? Under 5437, right? How many people do you think are trapped short under 5437? And that are holding the bids up here? Yeah, unfortunately, my story is a little weirder than Limitless. Yeah, I really don't know if the president is saying anything today or not. All I know is please be smart out there. Use your stops. Come join us at microefutures.com. And if you need any help or want to chat about coaching or anything, just reach out to me on X, right? Just DM me or DM me from Discord. Soon, Wilson. I actually started working on it again this weekend. It was good. All right, folks. Stay out of trouble, okay? Have a great Monday. I will see you later on. If you guys need help, reach out. I am around. But I got to go get some exercise because my girlfriend is going to check the amount of steps I've done at the end of the day, and if I don't do over a certain amount of steps, it's going to be my hide. So, with that, have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone.